Hey, y'all, welcome to the Why Podcast. Why is always the question, and you're in the closet with Celeste Dafeu. And it's so good to be here with y'all today. So now, let's be real. Asking why has gotten a bad rap. People say you're overthinking, being difficult, or doing too much. But guess what? Why is exactly what protects you from living on autopilot in a life that was never designed for your purpose. So today's question is simple. Why you should never stop asking why. So let's get into it. First point, because comfort will lie to you. Comfort says everything is fine, even when it's not. Why disrupts that lie and forces you to look around like, why am I still here? Why haven't I moved on? Why does this no longer feel good? Comfort will keep you in cycles that feel safe but kill growth. Asking why cracks that surface. Why the heck open? See, because your mind is built for meaning. You're not built to just survive. You were designed to think, feel, and discern. Why is the key that unlocks meaning. It turns experience into wisdom. It turns trauma into transformation. It turns routine into revelation. The moment you stop asking why, you start accepting anything. And that's not what we're here to do. Because blind obedience is dangerous. Not every tradition, rule, or expectation deserves your loyalty. Some stuff needs to be questioned, challenged, and changed. Whether it's family patterns, cultural expectations, or social systems. If you don't ask why, you'll just repeat that what harms you. Your programming isn't always your truth either. Did you know that? Many of us were taught things that never align with who we really are. You were taught to shrink, to comply, to please, to survive. But did you ever stop to think and ask, why do I believe this? Who told me this was the only way? Why helps you rewrite the script? Because trauma doesn't heal in silence. Asking why did that happen to me isn't weakness. It's the start of healing. When you ask the hard whys, you start to uncover what needs to be healed, what boundaries were broken, and what stories you've been carrying that were never yours to begin with. That could be trauma, abuse, whatever the case may be. We have to dig into this why. Why are we the way we are? Why do I believe the things I believe? Answer that for yourself. Because real growth requires real questions. Real growth requires real questions. Say that 3 times. People say they want growth, but they don't want to be uncomfortable. Message: growth is uncomfortable. It's not easy. Never is planned to be. Never was supposed to be. Guess what growth feels like? It feels like asking, why am I still here? Why does this pattern keep showing up? Why am I so tired even when I'm doing everything right? The deeper your questions, the higher your growth. Because it keeps you aligned. Why keeps you honest. It keeps you anchored. It checks your motives and reroutes your intentions. Without why, you'll end up chasing things that look good on paper, but feel empty in your spirit. Why? Asking why brings an awareness, and that awareness is power. People fear knowledge because once you know, you can't unknow. It can't be ignorance is bliss and going back to ignorance. Nah. Why reveals truth. It snatches off the blindfold. It exposes the fake. It exposes what's fake and forces you to make decisions. And it puts responsibility back in your hands. Some people stop asking why because they're afraid of the answer, but that's where your power lives. You can't be afraid to ask why. And again, it's because of training, cultivating traditions, a way that you were raised to be, to not ask any questions. You know, it brings me back to being a kid when you would ask a question or the parents would tell you to do something and you say why. Once you get smacked a couple of times, you be like, I'm not ever asking that question again. And usually the answer from parents is always, because I said so. With a smack. Because I said so. Pop. I don't do that. I give my children the answer. And then I say, and that's how it's going to be. Because I know a lot of times we're just curious as to why. And that's okay. So in closing, here's the truth. We don't ask why to stir drama or be difficult. We ask it because we refuse to settle. We refuse to drift. We refuse to just go through the motions. I don't want to go through the motions. As uncomfortable as change can be and is, I still want to feel life and going through that. Why is sacred? It's not the root of every breakthrough. It's the lifeline for purpose. So if the world ever tells you you ask too many questions, tell them you're just getting started. And you most definitely are staying awake and you're not going backwards. This is why I created the Why podcast, because this is what it's about. Asking those intentional, deep questions that we should be asking ourselves or others. Why? So as always, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Question everything, even yourself, starting with why. Because why is always the question. And I'm out, y'all. Peace. Peace in the middle.